Hello, my name is DJStudios and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to a ranking video, and I'm going to be ranking Doctor Who Series 12. So the thing's over and there were 10 episodes and I'm going to put them in order of how much I liked them. In fact, this order has in fact changed in the last 30 seconds, so this order may change again. All of the episodes that I talk about, you can see my initial reactions in a playlist which is called Doctor Who Series 12 Reviews, obviously, and those are going to pop up in terms of like the pictures, the thumbnails are going to pop up over the screen while I talk about them, and they'll be in the playlist. They'll be in the description below. At number 10, it's Orphan 55. I really did not like this episode. I think that this episode wouldn't have been bad if they tried to switch out the idea of a plot and replace it with a message at the end. If they just sorted itself out, you know, the idea that the doctors could just left them on there was just really bad, and I just felt so cheated by the end after having that pretty good part opener. The next episode was Can You Hear Me? Watching this again, I just felt nothing. I was so bored with this one. I think that it's very rushed, that its messages are mixed, you know. Again, it pulls out the message thing towards the end and starts talking about mental health, but it could be about conquering your fears, and conquering your fears is something that they do off screen. As cool as I think the villains are, if a bit campy, the ending of it was completely rushed and off screen, and then they all basically just decide, yeah, we don't have these fears anymore, we're no longer scared of you, so go away. Praxis was not necessarily bad. There's a few little things in there that I just think don't work. You know, the fact that there's a phone call that goes out, there's a text message that was never explained. The fact that the characters, all of the side characters, there was far too many, either forgotten about, quite literally forgotten about, to such an extent that they die and they are never mentioned again. Nobody goes, hey, where did that person go? Anything. I always imagine, just as those credits roll, as they walk away, just imagine them as they walk away, just go, that woman saying, wait, wasn't there another one of us? I wouldn't say the episode was bad, it was just really bland. The next episode on my list is Spiteful Part 2, and I just feel like we're getting to that middle stage when there's a lot of episodes that are just kind of okay, that I didn't hate, and there was nothing that terrible about them, but they fail to really truly amaze me, and I think that this episode did that the most out of all of them over the next few. I think that Spyfall had such a good premise and a good start from the first one that it goes completely overboard with the second. A lot of the spy stuff gets lost, so you kind of have that disconnect between the two episodes. I think a lot of that rests on the idea of motivation. I think that the episode is not bad. There is a lot of stuff that makes sense there, but there's just a few little things that just don't, such as why would you need to make the human race hard drives? Next is the Nikola Tesla episode. I think, well, it's called Nikola Tesla's Night of Terror. I really did like this episode, and I think it is really good. Generally, I think this is one of the better episodes of this series, but I had to put it here because I feel like with everything that we have coming, in terms of big moments, etc., this is a very contained episode, and we need these in Doctor Who. And I do like historical episodes, but I think that this has to go in this place because it can't exceed anything else than just being a nice little historical episode with a pretty cool villain. Next, I've decided to put the controversial choice of The Timeless Children. I know a lot of people don't like this episode, but I think that it was actually rather good. I liked what it did, and I felt throughout the entire time, which is a longer episode than normal, I was entertained throughout. I put it quite far up the list because I feel I put it so close to the top because I really did enjoy it, and I loved the stakes, I loved the Cybermen, there's plenty of good stuff going here, but I was concerned that over time the episode would go down in how I perceive it because I don't have that build up and that excitement for it. The next episode is Spyfall Part 1. I think this was a really fun opening episode to Doctor Who, one of the best we've had in quite a little while. Plenty of cool action scenes, plenty of interesting stuff. I think that compared to some of the stuff that we get later on in the series, Jodie is not doing that well. But at the end of the day, this episode is always going to be known for that ending, the cliffhanger, which is just really beautiful. And because the second part lets it down a little bit, with the way that it takes everything and turns its trajectory off in a different direction, makes things rather convoluted, that made the first part less impactful. The next episode is Ascension of the Cybermen. Some really cool effects, some really naff ones, but some really nice effects. Some really cool, a really good setting for a story, a really cool design for the Cybermen, say what you will about them, but I really liked these new versions. Menacing villain, just a very good opening part. The next episode is Fugitive of the Jadoon. Now I think that after the Timeless Children came out, I had to move this episode a bit higher up because I feel like originally this thing was brilliant. It had Captain Jack coming back, it had the Fugitive Doctor, which was a new interesting thing, and it was a very exciting time to be a Doctor Who fan because there was all that interesting stuff that people could theorise about online. And now that the conclusion to those things have come, or conclusion has come, I feel like the Captain Jack stuff, why is he talking about the Lone Cyberman if he doesn't actually appear during the episodes with the Lone Cyberman? It seems very weird. And how it never actually made a difference. It just felt very fan servicey at the end of the day. As cool as it was to see him back, and he is really well written in the episode, he was there mostly just to say, Jack is coming, but just bear with. And then the Fugitive Doctor feels like it's a bit of a loose end at the minute, and I don't know how I really feel about that version. I'm quite happy with the whole Timeless Children revelation, but I'm still a little bit bitter about the Doctor's past. And because I had to bring Fugitive down because I was a little bit disappointed by the finale, well, because I was a little bit disappointed by certain elements of the finale, I decided to bring The Haunting of Villa every time. Diodati. That's as close as I'm going to get, and I'm not going to try and say it again, and hopefully we don't have to speak of it again after this video. So, I really loved this episode. It was brilliant to begin with. There was plenty of interesting ghost stuff, and out of all of the episodes it made the most sense and was the most fulfilling as an episode by itself. Even though, you know, obviously the Lone Cyberman was introduced in this episode, you could still kind of watch this and go, so the Doctor lost. It's a bit like how you can kind of see Infinity War and Endgame being different films because they are set in different locations, but really they are part 1 and part 2. I really love the Lone Cyberman. I think it's a really cool design, definitely one of the coolest things in the entire series. I think that the writing for this episode was really good. These historical characters mixed into Doctor Who were done really well, and I just felt like overall this was probably the most fulfilling and the best episode to me. Okay guys, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure you give it a like, subscribe if you're new. I don't think I have anything else to say. Go and check out the videos that I've done in Series 12 if you wish. And I shall see you soon. Goodbye.